Hi, my name is Ketio Matutu, standing in for Zoe, welcoming you to Accountability Conversations. And today we're joined by Busi, Bhebhe and Aejay August. Ladies, welcome and please introduce yourselves. We'll start by
you. Already introduced me. I'm Busi Bhebhe. I work with an institution called Women's Media for Development Foundation, where we use media platforms to amplify the voices of women in development.
Okay, and I'm Aejay August. I'm a singer and a songwriter. My genre is Afrocentric.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so today we're seeing high rates of neonatal and maternal mortality. Who should be accountable for those lives?
I think everyone in leadership should be accountable, starting from the Minister of Finance, who allocates the resources, to the different departments, to the Minister of Health, who knows what is happening on the ground. But as we've known even before coronavirus, that nurses and doctors have been on strike, calling for better salaries, better working conditions. Things have since deteriorated from there. It's no longer just about the nurses having better salaries, it's now about hospitals being equipped for such a situation. But also, we're looking at the restrictive conditions in which we find ourselves in, where COVID-19 is forcing us to stay indoors or our movement is restricted. But when a government then says, we now have a curfew, people can only board Zupco buses and they need passes. Have they thought beyond the ordinary person? Have they thought of a woman who is pregnant, who needs to go for neonatal care, for prenatal care, to the clinic with them for baby checkups and things like that? If they haven't thought that far, then even our parliamentarians are accountable, because they are the policy makers. When they draft those policies that say, have they thought further, labor can happen anytime? What happens to umntwana who's now in distress? What happens and there is a cesarean section that is needed? So for me, the whole leadership, our whole government, the whole cabinet is responsible, because these women and children fall under each aspect of those departments.
Oh, okay. So what of the doctors and the nurses? Are they also accountable?
I think they are accountable, but I cannot put the blame on their feet, because they need resources to do the work. You can't, for example, say to a student, come to class and leave them sitting without teaching them and expect them to pass an exam. Here are doctors, they have the skills, yes, but where are the medicines? Where are the gloves? Where are the tools? Do they have the protective equipment for them to work under COVID situations? They are crying about salaries, because your bus fare is what, 50 bond for you to get to work. A lot of these doctors don't have cars, and if they do, they have to sleep in the fuel queue. If you are a doctor on call, let's say you are lucky you have a car, but you're in a fuel queue, how do you get to an emergency situation? All those things, my question is, do our leaders think through those things? Because as much as we may say that doctors make the Hippocratic Oath to save lives, what are you saying they should save lives with their bare hands? That's almost impossible.
Yeah, that's very true. So Aejay, how can female artists raise their voices to create awareness of the situation?
Okay, as musicians, we're kind of grounded as well when it comes to trying to tell the world about what's supposed to be done, because we cannot perform anymore, we cannot do anything. But we also have social media, and social media is very powerful. So we can use social media to actually bring awareness when it comes to this whole thing, because a woman should not die giving birth, should not die giving life. You know, it's really important for the country to understand the situation that we're in. That a woman is someone that is very strong, a woman is someone that brings life, a woman is someone that's supposed to bring Zimbabwe into something that is very powerful. And if we're neglecting a woman who is pregnant, we're killing a country.
That's very true. But then, do you think even when you raise awareness, you are going to be heard?
We hope so. Any time when you try to bring an awareness, you're actually bringing something like hope. And you hope that you're going to do something great by telling people that this is what's happening and we have to do this and that. As a country, we have to come together and work together. As musicians, it's our responsibility, because musicians are the ones that are heard. Because we sing, people love us. So if we say something, we're bringing in a bit of percentage that is going to be heard. So we cannot stand still and be quiet. We have to do something, even though we feel like we're not going to be heard, but at least we're trying.
Yeah, so the last time I read, it said, was it 9 out of 10 kids died?
So the issue that brought all this to light was the deaths of 7 babies at Harare Central Hospital. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, because those children got to be talked about, and the doctor actually felt like taking a picture and posting it on social media. But I'm thinking about all the women that are in the rural areas, all in the local clinics that are not able to access any help. I'm sure the statistics are much higher than that.
Yeah. So I heard about the empty cradles movement. Can you tell us what it was doing to remedy the situation? Tell us about the empty cradles movement.
Okay, the empty cradles is a campaign by concerned women, some of them activists, some of them ordinary citizens that felt a need to do something, if not to solve the practical problem, but at least to raise awareness, so that women out there know that there is a problem and we need to bond and reach out to the powers that be to do something. So it is a campaign to firstly raise awareness, secondly identify where the problems are, thirdly link the problems with possible solutions. So it's people from all walks of life. You can come in, anyone can come in. It's not just women, it's also men, because fathers are also impacted by the loss of their children and their babies and their wives and their partners. So we need everyone to come on board, and basically we're saying, come out and tell your story, because these deaths have been happening for so long in silence. And back then it was because people thought, munyama, or it's a coincidence. But now we realized, man, there must be something that we can do. People can't just be dying like that and it goes unnoticed. So we need those voices to be read, so that those babies that are dying and mothers that die are not just statistics. They have names, they have dates of birth and dates of death, and they should be known about.
Okay, so what else is being done besides the empty cradles and the maybe awareness that you guys want to do? What else is being done to maybe lessen the deaths of the...
Oh, I can't say what is being done, because the people who should be doing something were the government, the Ministry of Health. We don't know if they even know. So at this point in time is what was trying to appeal to them, to say, do you realize what is happening? Can you do something? And unfortunately this happened during the time when we didn't have a Minister of Health. We didn't have a Director of Health. The President just recently appointed them. So maybe they are also just still familiarizing themselves with the situation. But these are people who are already in government, and we're hoping they already know what is happening. So we really do not know what is being done at the moment, but we hope that by raising a collective voice, someone will stand up and listen.
Okay. So do you guys have any parting words?
For me as a woman, I don't want to see a Zimbabwean child die during death because some people are negligent or there's nothing that people can do. All I can say is that speaking for that child, I just want to say something has to be done. Let's save our children.
Yeah, I think I'll just add on to that to say all of us have a part to play. All of us can say something. We're either daughters, mothers, aunties. You've seen someone give birth. You've heard someone's story. Come out and tell us that story. And join the campaign. Hashtag empty cradles, stop the bleeding, /imbeleko, bereko mavi. Hashtag that. Share the stories, share the plight of the women, and the more people get to know about it, the more they can raise their voice against the deaths.
So how can artists and empty cradles movement work together to raise awareness?
Okay. Artists are like the voice, right? So if we stand together with them, we can actually come up with music, we can come up with poetry just to bring awareness. We can actually work together and go with the forefront, since people always see us all the time, since people hear our voices all the time. So now our voices will be different. Our voices will be about the kids that are dying, the babies that are dying, and then we can actually save lives by doing that.
Yeah, I think we could definitely work together. We could drop the messages, and artists can help frame them in a way, because music is a universal language. Everyone can then understand what we're trying to say, and as that music is played, as the poetry is shared, people get the message.
Okay, well, I honestly think you guys should look into like working together, and yeah.
Definitely.
Gladys, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope for the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm Ketio Matutu, and see you next Friday, same time, same place.